welcome back to LinkedIn Logs, the jobs podcast for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Welcome into episode 50 of the jobs entertainment, the jobs podcast, as I try to figure out what to do with this garage band thing. Here we are. We are falling quick out of summer and right into the mode of fall. I was gonna say spring. What's going on with me? Nothing, not much. I just finished recording an interview. Truly just finished recording it. I haven't even gotten up from this chair. Well, except to get the iPad. So besides that, that's the only time I got up. Finished talking to a comedian / performer / actor. Let's just say comedian actor. You'll see the episode soon enough. Not on this RSS feed, on another RSS feed called The Constitutionals. I'm wearing the same exact shirt as the thing I'm getting at. So if you watch the video version, which no one does, it's just there for posterity's sake, then you will know. I do have LinkedIn up, and it is on for reasons that will make sense. The head of CH Media, owner of Dropout, I'm on his LinkedIn page. I'm trying to see if I can score an interview with him. I should have. The person I talked to is they're friends. I should have said something. Okay, what's going on with me for real though? After that, I finished. So recently, I don't want to start a sentence. So recently, I had an audiobook. I did not write this audiobook. I want to make this very clear. I just recorded an audiobook for somebody who I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to make me any money at all. I think I did this for like 3 weeks. It's not going to make me any money, but it might open the doors to other things. It is through Audible, and but based on the content of the book, it's not going to make me jack anything. But I just finished recording an audiobook, and hopefully I can do others. Oh, make a wish. I just pulled out 3 eyelashes. If you've never seen me in person, my eyelashes are beautiful. It's very true. I get compliments all the time. You see the bags under my eyes, but you see the eyelashes and the eyebrows. Killing it. And I finished recording that. It was a great experience. I'll stop dancing over the words. It was a great experience. I had a nice time, a lovely time, and I can't believe that it exists. This book, the entire thing, took me, I don't know, roughly, let's say total 8 hours. Oh, plus the editing. Yeah, 8 hours. Let's say 8 hours. Over the course of 3 weeks, which is not bad. So I shouldn't really be paid. I should be paid for like 1 full day of work. But man, it was a rough day of work. And my voice might sound a little bit different. I do think my voice has settled into this now. Oh man. More robust. I sound like Andre Brower. Homicide on the Streets. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm just saying the title of shows that he was in. And that's all I have. That's all I have that's going for me. I have nothing else. I keep getting denied positions. That's fine. It's whatever. We're cool. Look at me. I'm so chill. Still wearing a flower shirt. I love wearing flower shirts. They're great. Flower button-ups. I have a new desk. I bought it for $90 on Facebook Marketplace. It's a flexi spot, and it's a standing desk. I can turn it into standing, which is so cool to me. and like the moment this is what happened. I was cycling on Saturday morning, and I was cycling at home, like on the street. And I was watching, I don't know, I forgot what I was watching. Oh, I think I might have been watching Old Boy. I was watching a movie, I don't know. I was cycling and a Peloton on, and then I was looking through Facebook Marketplace. I was multitasking. I was doing 3 things at once. Oh, millennials. And I saw this desk, and I went, oh my God. This might be, and the guy posted it like 9 minutes before. And I went, oh my God, this might be a desk for me. $90. And there's nothing wrong with it. No cracks, nothing. He just wanted to get rid of it. He used it for, I think he wrote, like, I used it for a week, and then I moved on to something else. I message him, I want this desk. I didn't, like, usually I haggle. I didn't haggle. I want this desk. I go get it at 12:30 because that's something to do at 10:30. I go get it at 12:30. I arrive. I think, A, it's going to be bigger than my car. B, I drive a hatchback. A hatchback hybrid. No big deal. I think it's going to be bigger than my car. B, I think it's going to be a dirty or broken desk. I get there. My guy has another version of this desk, but it's way bigger inside of his room or office or whatever. And I go, oh my gosh. Like I don't say this out loud. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I look at this desk and it's in perfect shape with the exception of, I think on one side, there might be just a small dry crack in the wood. And even still, you can't even notice it. But yeah, so we pick it up, we flip it over, we put it in my car. It fits perfectly. I get it home. I have a dolly in the where I keep the treadmill. Where is that? The storage unit. I pull the dolly out. I bring this through the door, and now I have this new desk. I gave away my old desk, and it fits everything and then some. It's slightly bigger than the old desk, which is what I was concerned about, but who cares? It's only like 3 inches longer or wider, which is amazing. Now it can fit everything. It's great. I love it. Monday, when I was finishing recording, I was recording the audiobook and editing the book. I stood here. It was amazing. Standing desks are great. I think they're wonderful for work. Truly. I think, it's breaking news. I think everybody should have one. When I was at Bounce TV, I stood. I didn't have a standing desk. I just stood. And I also had an exercise ball. In fact, I bought 2, one for here and then one for there. And the one for here was never used because at one point I worked for a TV show. I was a PA on a dating show on Fox, and they were shooting here in Atlanta. And that's when I brought home this very expensive. I could truly sell this Brother printer, and it could pay a car note and a half. I have a Brother printer next to me, and I have a nice office chair, and they were just giving it away. When I was at CNN, and they were liquidating the CNN Center, I was hoping to get there were so many Herman Miller chairs there that still had tags on them that had not been used in like years, if not months, if not at all. I'm not kidding. A lot of them had tags on them. And I was thinking, I kept telling my mom, I'm going to steal one of these chairs. I'm going to steal one of these chairs. And I should have. I should have stolen one of the chairs. They just got rid of them in bulk. God, I should have taken one of those chairs. I remember the day the last day I was at the CNN Center, the last day that we were like all working at CNN Center. I went up to the spot where I knew there were like basically brand new chairs with tags on them, and they had locked the door, and I was so mad. What I should have done was swiped in all that stuff days early. Swiped in, started just putting shit, just getting chairs and putting them together. Be like, yeah, this is from my office. I gotta go. I'm clearing out the office. Oh my God. Security guards want to stop me. They barely said hello to me. I wish that was a joke. All right, let's get into these two stories I have. This first one we'll kind of just glance over. This comes from the Wall Street Journal. Why is there a verification request? I subscribe. I pay my $12. I'm going to tell them I cancel it so I can get down to $4 again. I don't know. I'm not paying double digits for Wall Street Journal. This comes from Nick Timmy Rouse, or David Uberti. Hiring softened this summer, teeing up Fed rate cuts. The jobs report came out this past Friday. Again, the jobs report is something that happens once a month, and it's a report that says how many jobs were added or taken away or whatever. I think it's Jobs Friday, the first Friday every month, first Friday every month. U.S. job growth rebounded in August from levels that were softer than initially reported this summer, leaving the Federal Reserve on track to begin a series of rate cuts when officials meet later this month. The economy added 142,000 jobs, according to the Labor Department, an uptick from July data that sparked slowdown fears and jarred global financial markets. The unemployment rate in August ticked lower to 4.2%. If you recall, I believe it was last week's episode. Not last week, excuse me. This show's been off for 2 weeks because nothing's been happening in terms of, not for me, but like in terms of job stuff, because nothing's been happening. But they had to recall, all right, the last episode was Gannett, so maybe 16 days ago, they had to do the revised numbers for the job report. And I'm referring to episode, good Lord, Chad, I wish I kept things up. Episode 48, where I discussed that the U.S. added 818,000 fewer jobs than it had reported earlier. So those are revised figures for the 12 months through this past March. So again, take these numbers with grains of salt. See how many people are actually providing the actual information that they need. But in addition, that summertime hiring was weak. In addition to that, additional sign to that, the government revised down its estimates for June to July job growth by combined 86,000 jobs. Now, anybody looking for a traditional job in the job market or something thereabouts, contract work, the rest. I couldn't name anything else. Contract work. There you go. But anybody looking for jobs like that, somebody like me looking to, I just got an email denial from New York Times. I can't be their copy editor. Anybody who is looking for jobs like that, or working at Warner, or working at Fox or Disney or what have you, those are the people. What was I getting at there? Those are the people that can report those type of jobs, those companies, and those people can report those types of jobs. Versus, there are people who I just finished this interview with this comedian. He did a special. He performed his special with the help of Dropout, College Humor, now formerly known as College Humor, now currently known as Dropout. And he mentioned that he could either have a job like that is on a broadcast sitcom as a recurring character and make a shitload of money. This is a TVMA episode. I saw Beetlejuice yesterday. Don't say it again. And I forgot how. And then rewatching the first movie, I just didn't realize how dirty that movie was. And he says the F word at one point. I'm like, whoa, Beetlejuice is rad. And he's trying to marry a 14-year-old girl. Well, the lead, the guy who plays the dad definitely had something along those lines in real life. But for boys. Anyway, go look him up. I was like, why is he not in Beetlejuice? And then I went, oh no. Ooh, boy, that explains it. But he said, you could either be on a broadcast sitcom, make a shitload of money, and be at the behest of executives, and the show has to be changed and retooled all the time, or you could do something like work with Dropout or some other comedy style thing that's for a smaller company, a lot more nimble, and you're really just making the show, the special, for the people that really want to support the platform, and it's for a lot less money. But he didn't say these words. You're a lot more fulfilled, and it's a lot more pure. He did use pure. My Charles Barkley. It's really a poor job. And I think at this point, those are the you have to weigh the pros and cons to things like that, and really, I mean, truly, if the offers are out there. But getting at that, my point is, we don't know right now. These are just estimates. How many jobs there really are. Okay, let's move on to the next one, because that's boring. This other one comes from Wall Street Journal, written by Sarah E. Needleman. Making video games was a dream career. Then the mass layoffs came. This has been, I think the past couple of years have just been grueling for people all around the entertainment media sphere, people in television, people in film, especially above the line and below the line. But video games, to me, it just seems like it has taken the biggest hit. We have companies like EA, like Ubisoft, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, making these big, extravagant games. And then sometimes if they don't do well, then, or if, because game development is expensive, or if something doesn't perform well, or if people, just don't support the game, if there's a big game drop off, player drop off for like a live for service game, then you really see what's happening as a big company. You have to reel back in. Okay, well, this costs too much, so we have to get rid of X amount of people. And games are tough. Movies are tough. TV shows are tough. Games are so much more technical, but a lot more tough in terms that you spend 6-7 years making a game, and then it comes out and it could just flop and not hit at the right moment. I mean, there's a game called Immortals of Avium, and it was this huge not sprawling, but like this giant first-person shooter-style game based around Magic, and EA released it last year, and it was a full $60 game. It didn't do too hot. It reviewed okay, wasn't bad, wasn't good. It looked, to me, I've not played it yet. I'm getting to a point where I'm going to make sense. I'm going to make sense soon. I haven't played it yet. It's a game I own. I did. There was I'll get to that now. There was a huge sale in December. It was $5. This game that was like 2 months beforehand was $60, is now $5, and now it's on Xbox Game Pass, or you can play it on PlayStation Plus Essentials, whatever that is. It's fascinating, and I'm sure everybody in that studio was laid off. I'm sure no one has those jobs anymore. Even Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite, the owner of the Epic Games Store. If you don't know, the head of Epic Games is just like against Apple, and I believe Randy Pitchford from Gearbox, who was a supporter of Epic Games, once said that the Steam store would be a relic, or not, or would be derelict, I guess. I don't know, whatever. In 5 years, and that 5 years is up this year. Anyway, but 800 people from Epic Games were laid off. And then as this man, Tarl Rainey, who has been creating video games since the early 2000s, learned, even getting laid off from Epic Games, you can get a job at an indie game studio and then laid off again. It's tough. Video games are tough. And we're seeing this shrinkage across the industry. And, you know, a lot like movies, if Disney's going to make 15 superhero movies and like one indie movie that does a tenth of what one of those superhero movies does, then it doesn't make sense for them to continue doing those indie movies all the time, or at least once. Big companies, Take-Two, Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, EA, they've all had layoffs, just giant layoffs over the past year. Microsoft and Sony have also had layoffs. Although the way when Microsoft did it, you would think that it was the first one ever. They're the ones blamed for everything. Even Discord and Twitch have seen layoffs, and those are video game. If they're not video game centric, they did start out as video game enjoyment platforms. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know how to do Discord. Discord is tough for me. I genuinely I can't figure out how to do that thing. And I have no problem because I don't want to do it. I don't want to talk to people. Overall, the global consumer spending on games is forecast to grow 3.6% this year after rising 1.8% in 2023 and shrinking 6.3% in 2022, according to analytics from Aldora Intelligence. The industry grew an unprecedented 23.4% in 2020. I mean, that was because of the pandemic, but I would love to be an analyst and say that a Monday morning analyst and say that the growth from of 3.6% this year and the rise of 1.8% in 2023 is due in part to games like Fortnite, these live service games, these games that will always have a player base, and they'll be able to pump money into it. The players will be able to pump money into it because they can get, you know, skins and dances and emotes and things of that nature. Because I can't imagine that a game that's not Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto or Uncharted or Spider-Man 2 or even Super Mario Wonder. I think that's what it is. Super Mario Wonder is the latest one. I can't afford it. I can't buy that game right now. He's looking at the new Super Mario, what is it called? What Mario Party? The Mario Party game. I can't play Wonder. I got to play Mario Party. I hate having people over my house, but I have to play Mario Party. Another gentleman, Daniel Bean, was laid off from Microsoft-owned Bethesda Softworks in January 2023 after moving to Baltimore from Austin, Texas, a decade ago for the job. He was helping make great games under the Fallout and Elder Scrolls franchises. During his tenure there, he moved up the ranks from business operations manager to lead producer. Wow. I mean, just to have that on it's amazing. But then he was dismissed along with about 10,000 other Microsoft employees because Microsoft now owns the Fallout maker Bethesda. The last time he was handed a pink slip was in 2003, when an Electronic Arts owned studio he worked with closed. It feels like it's a little dismissive when you are a game creator and that's all you get. Like you could be, and again, this could happen. This happens in television. This happens in film. Yes, you make these things and they kind of use you like tools and that's it. But when you are somebody who has been a video game maker, when you've done modeling for games, when you've done animation for games, when you've written for games, when you produce them, when you've done just the laying the groundwork for what a video game is, to to be to be cast aside and, sent to work on your own, or to make games with an indie studio only for that to be shut down. It is disheartening, and it's something that makes you feel, as I mentioned before, like a tool. No one's hiring right now. So what happens when it comes to this? What For video games, it is such a specific niche. Like, I have very specific skills that, as much as people who are like, no, you can apply to any job you want, as much as people want to say that, don't work anywhere else. But for video game makers, or for people who worked in video games, that's even tougher. That's even more tough, with the exception of people who are recruiters who were recruiting for, Bethesda Softworks, or who were doing animation for I don't know, the Peppa Pig game, which is a Peppa Pig game that I am currently playing to get achievements to earn points for Microsoft rewards, so that I can spend it on Game Pass Ultimate to play 3 games. You have to get these easy achievements, guys. It's for the entertainment industry as a whole, for music, for television, for film, for video games, for anything comedy, for whatever, for anything that is in this world. When is there going to be a bounce back? People are always now, especially, going to be into going to the movies. They're going to be into talking about the latest TV show, playing the latest video game, seeing somebody perform live. Like, on Saturday night, I watched The Weeknd perform live in Brazil. People are always going to want that. When are we collectively, as an industry, above the line and below it? When are we going to start seeing a bounce back for jobs? When is it going to be how it was just a couple of years ago, pre-pandemic? I think a lot of industries are asking that exact same question. Even if there has to be some sort of, even if Disney has to continue putting out tentpole movies, are they going to continue supporting and reusing smaller artists? And that's the thing, I'll relate this back to this interview I had with the comedian. Again, you'll see it in a couple of next week, maybe. But Dropout is using, formerly known as College Humor, is using people that, if you pay attention to comedy, if you know what comedy is, and not like, oh, I listen to the Joe Rogan Experience. No, that's not. No, I'm saying, if you pay attention to comedy, then you would know who they are. You'll see a lot of these comedians, and even if I don't watch Dropout, but like, you'll see a lot of these comedians that Dropout is a platform. It's a platform that has a bunch of shows on it. Maverick is having a dream right now, and he's barking. Maverick, come here, buddy. I'm going to stop saying Dropout and then truly explain what that was. But I'm seeing a lot of people I know who have popped up on podcasts, who have popped up on TV shows. I think that continued support in terms of what Dropout is, and even more so expanding that to what a show like Comedy Bang Bang used to be, or what Earwolf used to be prior to being bought out by SiriusXM. What Chris Gethard's show was when it was on television. I think that's what, this continued support of one another like that That's what's going to continue to drive. That's how you get the actors. That's how you get the producers, the writers, the directors, everything. And I wish there were a bigger not platform, a bigger studio that can put their might behind that. But we've seen things fail when bigger studios get involved. When Disney became involved with Vice Media, and I mean, it's not Disney's fault that Vice went under. It's Vice's fault that Vice went under. But when Vice became too big, it failed. Doing something stupid like getting a linear TV network on deep cable in 2017, 2018. Like, why? Or 2016, because I was at home. Like why? It's ridiculous. But there needs to be, it's going to take a lot more than having one avenue that is Dropout or these comedy podcasts, whatever. There's going to be, we need to have Disney. We need to have Warner Bros. Discovery. We need to have everybody, Netflix, put their might behind these people, even if it's just a little bit, and even if it's just every so often. But it needs to be continued support over and over and over again, because otherwise we're just gonna have the same stuff coming out, and it's what we have now. But whatever. I don't know. Okay, I'm done. Listen, if you like what you heard here, head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where you can see me talk to your favorite people in the entertainment industry, and I will tell you who that person is next week when that episode comes out. If you want to see a video version of this show, head to youtube.com/cpluscomedy. We're going to see me sitting here. You can also see video versions of the other shows, the Constitutionalist podcast, which is the entertainment business news podcast, and Late Night Lately, which is a late night show. You can also watch the interviews there. You can subscribe to those shows on your podcast subscription feeds, wherever your podcast. Listen to the wherever you get them. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that. At C Plus Comedy and me, at Chat Black White. Thank you for listening, and the song's going to start over. Bye.